Hello, all you fine, beautiful people. I'm back here once again with another reaction, and today I'm going to be reacting to episode number 28 in the 365 Days of Frank Zappa. And today we're going to be looking at Who Needs the Peace Corps. If you're new to the channel, I play a song all the way through, giving my thoughts and opinions on it at the end. And as usual, if there's anything you want me to react to, just put it down in the comments section. So I have to say, I've really enjoyed going through the many different eras of Frank, this being the Mothers of Invention. So I thought, you know what? This is the first time I'm reacting to anything from We're Only In It For The Money, perfectly titled. So I thought, you know what, let's start with this song. Some of you suggested that I should check this song out, so without further ado, here it is. Who Needs the Peace Corps? By Frank Zappa.
What's there to live for? Who needs the Peace Corps? Think I'll just drop out. I'll go to Frisco, buy a wig, and sleep on Owsley's floor. Walk past the wig store, danced at the Fillmore. I'm completely stoned, I'm hippie and I'm trippy, I'm a gypsy on my own. I'll stay a week and get the crabs and take a bus back home. I'm really just a phony, but forgive me 'cause I'm stoned. Every town must have a place where phony hippies meet. Psychedelic dungeons popping up on every street. Go to San Francisco. How I love you, how I love you, how I love you, how I love you, Frisco. How I love you, how I love you, how I love you, how I love you. Oh, my hair is getting good in the back. Every town must have a place where phony hippies meet. Psychedelic dungeons popping up on every street. Go to San Francisco. Hotcha. First I'll buy some beads, and then perhaps a leather band to go around my head, some feathers and bells, and a book of Indian lore. I will ask the Chamber of Commerce how to get to Haight Street and smoke an awful lot of dope. I will wander around barefoot. I will have a psychedelic gleam in my eye at all times. I will love everyone. I will love the police as they kick the shit out of me on the street. I will sleep. I will go to a house. That's what I will do. I will go to a house where there's a rock and roll band because the groups all live together. And I will join a rock and roll band. I will be their road manager. And I will stay there with them and I will get the crabs, but I won't care.
So that was Who Needs the Peace Corps by Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. Wow. People were right when they said that this was Frank, pretty much his attack on hippie culture and everything about it is in this song. I love this. The musicianship in it is just weird enough where it's like Frank, but there's still kind of a very, almost a psychedelic feeling, like rhythm to it, where it's like, okay, you can picture this actually being a psychedelic band. Just some great stuff here. Starts off, what's there to live for? Who needs the Peace Corps? I think I'll drop out. I'll go to Frisco, buy a wig, and sleep on Owsley's floor. I believe that's the guy who created acid, I believe. And that's Frank's reference to that. Walk past the wig store, danced at the Fillmore. I'm completely stoned. I'm a hippie and I'm trippy. I'm a gypsy on my own. I'll stay a week, get the crabs, and take a bus back home. I'm really just a phony, but forgive me because I'm stoned. Wow. Very much like Frank on the previous album, or I guess depends if you consider Lumpy Gravy the next album. But Absolutely Free, Plastic People. This seems very much like Frank's continuation of Plastic People and their phoniness, and really bringing it out on the hippie culture of the 1960s, where I remember seeing a documentary and they said that all the kids were pretty much like, go to San Francisco, live this kind of bohemian lifestyle, and everything, and that it's like, okay, as long as we can get to San Francisco, so there's this mad rush of young people going to San Francisco and everything. Every town must have a place where phony hippies meet, psychedelic dungeons popping up on every street. Go to San Francisco. Love that. It's really interesting. The musicianship on it as well is very interesting. But I really love what it says here is the interlude. First I'll buy some beads and then perhaps a leather band to go around my head, some feathers and bells, and a book of Indian lore. I will ask the Chamber of Commerce how to get to Haight Street and smoke an awful lot of dope. I will wander around barefoot. I will have a psychedelic gleam in my eye at all times. I will love everyone. I will love the police as they kick the shit out of me on the street. I will sleep. I will go to a house. That's what I'll do. I will go to a house where there's a rock and roll band because the groups all live together. I will join a rock and roll band. I will be their road manager, and I'll stay there with them, and I will get the crabs, but I won't care. It's funny in this how Frank really says, yeah, they're sleeping with a lot of women, but all the women are giving them crabs now. So it's just very interesting, his sort of outlook on this and the whole hippie culture in general. Especially this album came out in 68, I believe, and I kind of think of it kind of as a trilogy of of kind of absolute or Freak Out, Absolutely Free, and We're Only in It for the Money. If you want, I think you could maybe convince Uncle Meat might actually be in there as well, but they all kind of focus on that same theme of late 60s culture and kind of Frank's growing resentment to especially the hippies. Like, I felt like there was a very, at least through listening through a lot of songs, where he's like, we're freaks, but we're at least open enough to say we're freaks. And that these hippies are very phony. They don't really believe in any of this stuff. Pretty much, Frank's done many songs talking about this period. And I remember Frank saying in an interview once, talking about, yeah, everyone thought the late 60s, early 70s was this great period. And he's like, it really wasn't a great period. Just music of an experimental nature was actually able to get released. That was the best part about the late 60s, early 70s, is you could be what you wanted to be as a band, and you could get some traction as long as you could sell some records. And I think Frank's a prime example of that. Looking at this, I love the album cover to this, because it's very much a Frank ripping off the Beatles Sgt. Pepper album cover with all the faces and everything, and they just take it to a whole nother absurd level, which is something I love about Frank. Is there's times where it felt like Frank never really took himself too seriously. He could laugh at himself and find humor in it, and I think this album cover is 100% him finding humor in it. Like, you could see Jimi Hendrix in there. And it's just really interesting to always look at these album covers as well of Frank, because it's like, yeah, like, he's a very humorous guy. And to name the album We're Only in It for the Money, I also believe he called this during his non-commercial phase. So it's really interesting, that aspect. But anyway, it really is a great song. Makes me want to check out really the rest of this album and a lot of other of Frank's stuff, because there's so much in there where I seen an interview with a guy who played with Frank, said Frank was great at making music that even though it might have weird time signatures and stuff, he would always throw something in there that he could bring it back, whether it be rhythm and blues, whether it kind of be, I guess, psych, whether it be jazz or doo-wop or something of a very popular nature that he could insert into the music, that even though it's out there, it's not so far out there that people wouldn't recognize it. I guess is the way I want to put it. But anyway, that's my thoughts and opinions. I'd like to know, what do you guys think of Who Needs the Peace Corps by Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention? Also, if you're new to the channel, hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, click the little bell down below so you don't miss anything. And once again, I have to say, really much thank you guys so much for watching. This is me here signing out. Peace.